CBS News Chief White House Correspondent Major Garrett is in Indianapolis, traveling alongside the Trump campaign. Major, Trump has said that he's looking for an attack dog as a running mate and someone who can take on Hillary Clinton. You were at the Trump event last night. How did Governor Pence, did he fit the bill?
Sure. And look, everyone who chooses a running mate wants someone to be a very strong, aggressive attack dog, if you will. That is the cliche advocate for their candidacy. And Mike Pence was all of the above. And not to mention, before the rally, he helped Trump raise more than $1 million here in Indianapolis, $1.4 million, I'm told, by those who were at the fundraiser. That's another important part for the Trump campaign because it is behind in fundraising. Indianapolis is not a place where Republican or Democratic candidates expect to raise a good deal of money, and that's a sizable chunk. And Pence organized that, put his entire team behind that effort to make sure that fundraiser would go well. So in that sense, he exceeded expectations, and he talked about himself and what Indiana has accomplished under his leadership, an important part of his resume, and was very aggressive and absolutely unequivocal in his support for Donald Trump and his attack lines against Hillary Clinton. So if it was an audition, he probably did as well as he possibly could. And I know many Indiana Republicans I talked to in the audience before and after the rally came away quite impressed and hoped that he would be on the ticket.
Major, Donald Trump is trailing Hillary Clinton in a few national polls by a few points on average. It's tightening in some of the battleground states. How much would a sound conservative choice like Mike Pence make in this election?
So I don't think the pick of Pence, if it is that, or anyone that Donald Trump puts on the ticket, Christie or Newt Gingrich or Jeff Sessions, the senator from Alabama, are going to materially affect Donald Trump's prospects for winning in November. But I do think the pick will have an important effect on the Republican National Convention next week in Cleveland. And I've talked to a good number of Republicans who say Pence is probably the choice that would most reassure the delegates in Quicken Loans Arena for that convention. Why? Because most of them are conservatives. Most of them are against the Washington establishment and look for somebody outside of Washington. Mike Pence has somewhat cleansed himself of his role in the House Republican leadership, but even when he was a member of that House Republican leadership, he was the kind of conservative that most Republican delegates to this convention like, meaning he opposed Bush-era increases in domestic spending, he voted against the No Child Left Behind law, and he opposed Bush on other issues where he was much more either fiscally or socially conservative than the Bush agenda. That endeared Mike Pence to Tea Party Republicans before they were even a household name in American politics. So at a lot of levels, Pence is probably the most reassuring, calming choice that Trump could pick. I'm not suggesting that that means by definition he's going to be Trump's pick, but you see these universes getting closer and closer. Trump and Pence spent a lot of time together last night after the fundraiser, delaying their start of the rally in Westfield, Indiana. And then Trump spent the night here in Indianapolis, canceling meetings back in New York before flying to California for fundraisers. All of this sort of deepens the intrigue about Trump's possible rising comfort factor with Pence. And that could suggest that by Friday, and we know the vice presidential pick will be announced Friday, it could be Trump and it could be Pence together.
Major, with less than a week to go until the Republican National Convention, we still don't know much about it. We're still waiting for a list of speakers, for example. Is that unusual compared to previous conventions?
It is unusual, and it is reflective of a couple of things. One, the evolving alliance between the Trump campaign, which has very few staff and a very sort of jagged decision-making process, and a much larger Republican National Committee that's trying to build a convention that is worthy of the party, consistent with the party's own sense of itself and its imagery and the way it projects that imagery, but also has been cleared and approved by the presumptive nominee. The kind of communication is okay, but not great. There is not a sense of chaos, but a lot of decisions are being made much later in this process than has historically been the case. We don't know what that's going to mean when the convention itself is put on, but one thing is true about this convention. It will not have the well-rehearsed and sort of infomercial quality of most recent national conventions. It will be a little bit improvisational, a little bit less prefab, if you will, and with that comes a little bit more chaos behind the scenes, and I think that's what we're witnessing or at least picking up by the fact that so many things that we would have known by now, we still don't quite know.
Major Garrett reporting from Indianapolis. Major, thank you.
You got it.